Welcome back to more adventures in restoring ancient PC computers. This is a Hewlett Packard Pavilion. This is the first Pentium computer that my family ever purchased way back in the early 90s, early to mid 90s. I think it was 93, 94, somewhere in there that we bought this. And it's a Pentium. It's a 75 megahertz processor. As you can see, there's both PCI slots and these larger slots. I think those are ISA, if I remember correctly, for larger cards. On the back here, you can see we've got display ports, parallel port, a couple other serial ports, keyboard and mouse, sound card, and a modem right there. Dial-up internet was the thing back then. There's also a CD-ROM drive and a floppy drive in front. I took the hard drive out. It's right here because I'm pretty sure it's bad. I'm going to see if I can boot the computer with it. If I can't, I'm going to see if I can clone this onto a new hard drive. But the main problem with this is the power supply is bad. I've tried hooking it up and it basically killed the breaker. It tripped the breaker when I tried to turn the computer on. So that's pretty much a guarantee the power supply is screwed up. So I ordered a new one here. Well, it's not new. It's obviously they're not making these anymore, but it's used and it should be functional. So I went ahead and unplugged all of these and unscrewed the power supply from the back. So we'll take this one out and we will put this one in its place. And I'll put the phone on a tripod so you can watch as we hook this up. These two cables are going to go here. PS1 on the left, PS2 on the right. They can only go in one way because of these little notches. Each one has a different notch. And then we'll hook up power to the CD drive, the floppy drive, and I'll go ahead and hook up the laptop, or I'm sorry, the hard drive as well. There's a little connector here that leads to the power switch on front, and that's what this this connector goes to. P9 goes right there. And we'll see if we can power this on. All right, okay. So I'm going to connect this PS9 to the front. Like that. And connect this power to the motherboard. Let's see. Okay, we have power for the CD drive here. Power for the floppy drive. And we have the hard drive here. Put this back up to the IDE cable. Power to it. So I'll leave it up here for now. And we're ready to give it a try. Okay. Sounds promising so far. Hewlett Packard. Yeah. Hard drive is making noise. Let's see what we get. This computer hasn't been functional in 2 decades, probably. Was just sitting in the attic for the longest period of time. Yeah, well, this disk drive doesn't want to eject. That's interesting. And it's just sitting on this boot screen. Interesting. I'm going to try unplugging the hard drive. Alright, so I unplugged the hard drive, just the power. Shut the computer off before I did that, obviously. And let's try again. Might just be that the bad hard drive is causing a problem when the computer boots. No noise from the hard drive now. It's unplugged. CD drive still doesn't work. Insert bootable media in the appropriate drive. Okay, so we got farther. So it must be trying to boot from the hard drive. It's just not able to because it's bad. So I'm gonna throw this hard drive in another computer, probably my custom build here. See if we can boot from that, and if we can, we'll clone it to a new hard drive. All right. So I tried putting the HP hard drive in that computer and booting into DOS, and it recognized, I was able to open Fdisk and it recognized that the hard drive was there, but it said that the partition was non-DOS and I couldn't access it by drive letter. So pretty sure the hard drive is bad. I have a few other tricks I might try, but in the meantime, what I wanted to do was use this Pavilion First Aid Recovery CD to try to load the operating system on here onto a new hard drive. So I had to plug in a new CD drive since this one appears to be on the fritz. And the new hard drive is plugged in, obviously. But I'm getting this problem where it just boots to a blank screen. I'm not sure what that's about. Let's try restarting again and hopping into setup and see if it recognized either of these devices. Yeah, it looks like it recognized them both. So let's check out the boot options. Floppy, CD-ROM, hard disk. Let's just have it boot from the CD-ROM. Disable this other stuff for now, because that's really what I want to do. Is I want it to boot into this recovery CD. So let's see if that works. I'm missing the floppy drive button on here, which is a little annoying. It's also very annoying that the built-in CD-ROM drive is not working. It worked initially. Oh look, starting Windows 95. And it's reading from that CD. Anyway, I was saying the CD drive in the Pavilion worked initially. I was able to eject it, and there was an old Warcraft 2 game CD in there, which I removed. But then I closed it, and it won't open again. It just makes that weird noise. So I don't know if the motor's bad now or something. The hard drive is not accessible. You've used Fdisk to create a DOS partition or reconfigure the drive using the system setup config utility. Okay. Fdisk. Is Fdisk under the DOS directory? Yes, it is. Okay. Display partition information. One non-DOS partition. Need non-DOS partition. Number one. Yeah. And let's create a new primary DOS partition. There we go. Maximum size. Yep. Go for it. We'll come back when it's done. Oh, and it's done. All right. Let's restart. Goodbye. Coming back up. Now that the disk has been partitioned, hopefully the recovery CD will be happy now. So yeah, I'm not sure what to do about that CD drive. I might take it out and try opening it up. I mean, I'd really like for it to work because it has the, like, it fits the case real nicely and everything. I don't really want to have an extra drive hanging out just to use this computer. Alright, drive C must be reformatted. Let's do it. Welcome to the Hewlett-Packard First Aid Recovery Kit. Okay. Store, erase everything in your hard drive, then yeah, sure. It's a blank hard drive, so it shouldn't matter. This option will erase everything, yep. Yes, please. Yes, how many times do I have to confirm? Goodness. So it's 2 gig hard disk. Tripod up again. Yeah, so it's a Seagate Barracuda. Well, actually it says it's an 80 gig disk. Maybe the largest partition, the largest DOS partition that could be created was 2 gigs using fdisk. I don't know. Okay, looks like that's done. And it's installing stuff. All right. Well, we'll be back when this is done. These are the speakers that came with the Pavilion, by the way, these two. They clip to the side of the CRT display, but we never actually purchased the HP CRT display that goes with this computer, so these always just sat beside whatever monitor we were using. Okay, the original hard disk image is restored. Remove the CD and reboot the system. Okay, let's do it. Boop. Took a good 40 minutes. It's like it's trying to boot, but it... Alright, we need to reset the BIOS back to use the hard drive to boot. Yeah, the CD drive, it's like it's trying. The motor is pushing, but the tray is not ejecting. Okay. Boot options. Let's just restore the defaults. Floppy CD hard disk. Perfect. Perfect. Try again. I definitely need to clean the dust off of this with my little tools. Computer looks much better when it's not covered in dust. And we have the blinking cursor. Let's give it a minute. Okay, so the blinking cursor never went away. I let it sit there for about 15 minutes and it never went away. So something weird was going on when the computer was trying to boot. So what I did was I took out the hard drive I had been trying to use, which is a newer Barracuda 80 gig hard drive, and I put back in a similar hard drive, this one here, Western Digital 2 gig hard drive. That's the same model that was in there, except this one is good. The other hard drive was bad. I couldn't get it to read at all. So I redid the rescue process to load the original software onto this drive, and sure enough, it booted. So let's look at that. Here we go. So I think what was happening was, for whatever reason, the computer was having trouble reading from that hard drive, either because it was so large, because around this time 80 gig hard drives didn't exist. When we bought the computer, actually 2 gig hard drives didn't even exist. I think it came with an 800 megabyte hard drive, as I recall. But yeah, it must either it's the size or something else to do with the drives being different. But the computer seems to be able to boot from this one just fine. As you can see, it's starting Windows 95. That sound
Thanks for choosing
back
the
such good
HP
memories.
Pavilion Multimedia PC. The next few steps will help to complete the setup of your new PC. So, let's get started. Press the Enter key on the keyboard to continue.
I remember this. What a cheesy setup. Do you have to learn how your PC mouse works? No, I think I know how. That's your setup. No, we don't have a printer attached. No, we don't want to register. Alright. That would be really funny if Hewlett Packard received a registration for a 30-year-old computer.
Welcome to the quick tour of HP's Personal Page. Hi there. Personal Page is a convenient and easy way to access all your software
This guy
and
screams
explore
early
the features
90s.
of your PC. During the quick tour, when anything appears highlighted on your screen, click onto it to learn more about it. Take your time. It's not a race. And if you want to leave the quick tour at any time, you can click on the Quit button right down there. The different areas you see on your Personal Page organize the software included with your PC. You see that flashing area over there that says Entertainment? Move the pointer onto it and you're on your way.
Okay. Entertain me.
The entertainment area lets everyone in the family play exciting games of all kinds. Reference has an atlas, an encyclopedia, and all the tools you need for information at your fingertips. This area helps you manage your income and pay bills with easy-to-use personal accounting tools. Kids Stuff is all about kids having fun while they increase their knowledge and exercise their imagination. Service and Support provides useful utilities and tells you where to call when you need help. This area shows you how to take full advantage of all the software and tools that came installed on your PC. The online area is where you'll find the information superhighway at full speed, with fax modem, messaging capabilities, and much more. This area provides you with the tools you'll use most often for creating all kinds of documents. You can turn the volume up or down here at any time with a single click. The additional buttons on this menu help you easily navigate Personal Page. We'll get to these a little later. Each of the 8 areas you see on your screen contains specific types of software that came with your PC. For an example of how these areas work, click on Productivity. See how easy this is? The flashing area you see is called the window. It is what you see first when you open any of the 8 areas, and it shows you everything that is held inside the area. Each small pictorial representation on the screen is called an icon. Double-click on any icon and you'll go directly into the application or document that icon represents. The scroll bar to the right lets you scan up or down. For now, double-click on the Paint icon and you'll create your first document. Look down at the bottom of the screen. This area is called the taskbar. The icon for the open application, Paint, appears on a button in this taskbar. Any open application appears down there, so you can move easily between them by just clicking on the button. Right now, let's pretend you've created this image in Paint, and now you want to save it. Here's how you do that.
My image
First,
would be much better.
you click on File at the upper left.
This is ridiculous. It's like they've created their own
The
version of
save
Windows
function lets you
inside
save and
Windows.
store any document you create. Now, go ahead and type in what you'd like to name the document, right there in that blank line you see flashing. Then, click Save.
I'm typing.
X marks the spot. Clicking here closes this window and takes you back to where you came from.
There it
The new
is.
icon in the productivity window is the document you just named and saved. The folder is for quick storage and retrieval of documents. Recycle holds all files you place in it until you finally choose to recover them or throw them away. Help provides you with helpful information at any time. X marks the spot. Clicking here closes this window and takes you back to where you came from. Feeling more confident?
All right.
Now we get to see what's in this menu. This button makes sure that you can take a quick tour of the friendly world of Personal page anytime you want. This is where you can choose how you'd like all your system hardware to function together. For example, you can click here to set up your printer. This allows multiple users to each do their own Personal page and switch from one user to the other. With this button, you can quickly install new software applications from either a CD or a floppy disk. Personal page lets you customize a number of things, from the look to the sound. This quickly takes you out of Personal page and puts you directly into Microsoft Windows 95 if that's what you want. This is what Windows 95 looks like.
Oh, so boring. Oh, why would anyone want to use that?
Click here to make sure you can get back to the friendly world of Personal page, right where you left off. While it puts your PC to sleep to save energy, putting your computer in suspension lets you continue sending or receiving faxes and messages.
Faxes.
This button prepares your PC for complete shutdown. Well, we hope you enjoyed HP's Personal Page Quick Tour. Personal Page makes using all the features on your HP Pavilion easy and fun. Thanks for taking the time. Come back whenever you want. You're welcome to stay.
Such a friendly gentleman. I can't believe they recreated their own version of Windows. I totally forgot about this. We never actually used it, as I recall. Oh, I have to choose an option. Let's quit. I don't want to take that tour again. PC setup is almost complete. Uh-oh. I'm going to have to go find my Microsoft Windows 95 Certificate of Authenticity. I'm pretty sure I still have it. Alright. We'll be back. I found my Windows 95 Certificate of Authenticity. I'm glad I still had this. Okay, it seemed to accept the product ID just fine. And it's now installing devices. Oh my goodness. Alright. Let's restart again. I don't think there's any disks in here. Nope. So, this system's back up and running. All that's left to do here is figure out how to fix the CD drive, figure out how to fake an eject button for this floppy drive, mount the hard drive under here, and put the case back on. And this computer will have been successfully resurrected from the dead. Good old Windows 95. Alright, so here we are in Windows 95. Wow, it looks so old-fashioned. And yet it's so zippy compared with newer versions of Windows. So I installed this onto the same hard drive that some other stuff was already installed on. It was running DOS 6, I think, and we had a bunch of games installed, so we should still be able to access those just fine. Yeah, MS-DOS prompt. Yup. Very cool. Alright, well, that does it for this HP Pavilion Pentium, 75 megahertz. Okay, so in trying to debug this CD-ROM drive that won't come out, I took it out and took it apart. It's a Mitsumi. The model number is CRMC FX400, and this is the circuit board that was on top of here, which I disconnected. And what I noticed is, well, I can't. Let me grab the tripod because I need both hands for this. Okay, here we go. So I noticed I can move this in and out with my hands. And I notice when it goes all the way in, there's that click. It catches on something, and then it's pretty hard to get it to come out again. I think that's what's happening is when it retracts, the motor's pushing against something, and it doesn't have quite enough power to overcome it. Even I don't sometimes. Wow. It's really stuck. Okay, so after heavy use of the spudger, I got it unstuck again. I actually got the tray to come out, which is nice. So this runs like this along the track, and this is the gear that drives it. And what I noticed is the teeth along here are worn, and this one's actually broken, and then there's one at the very end that's not. And I think what was happening was this blue gear was running along here, and it was allowed to get pretty deep here, and then it caught on this at the very end. That's my guess, at least. So what I'm going to try to do is file that down so it matches the one next to it, and stick this back in here, hopefully with the gear lined up the right way, and see if I can't get it to work a little more smoothly. So I'll probably just use a Dremel on this. Okay, new theory. Actually, that might not be the problem at all. The gears there. I think it's this thing. Because if you look on the underside of here, there's this notch. It's a raised plastic bit there. And that hits here. Kind of goes over the top of it and catches behind it. I think that's to hold the drive closed so you can't pull it out while it's operating. And I think what happened is this wheel got slightly off. Like it was one or two gear teeth off as it was meshing with this thing. And probably because me and my brother were pulling on it when we were kids and caused it to skip. And so when this was closing, it was the gear was a little too far in this direction, so that notch was hitting too far up on this. It should be hitting more down here. So I noticed that when the gear is around this way, this center piece lifts up to actually meet the disc. This is what turns the disc. So this is in its closed state. So if I turn this all the way to the other direction, this should be in its open state. Make sure it's fully turned. And I'm going to slide this back on. And There's a little pop. It still catches a little. I'm hoping that it won't be extreme enough to prevent the motor from pushing it out. So, I'm going to hook this back up to the circuit board and test it. Okay, everything's back together. The tray opens. We'll try putting a test CD in here and see how we do. The light is coming on, which is a good sign. It's making CD noises. Hey, check it out. It sounds a little sick, but it is 2.5 decades old. Okay. Will it come back out? That is the question. And we wait. Yes! Alright. So, next up, install this back in the computer. Install that. Reinstall the power supply. Throw a case on this, and I think we should be good. The missing floppy drive button, you can just use a little screwdriver or spudger or something to press in there to eject the disc, so I think that's fine for now. I don't know where I'm going to find another button like that. Maybe I can try to 3D print one. But anyway, I'll come back once this thing is all together. Just getting a quick shot of the back before I plug it in. This computer was nice because it had color-coded labels where you should plug everything in. And the keyboard it came with, you know, had the red, and the mouse was green and the audio was blue, so it was very easy to plug everything in. And there you have it. The HP Pavilion Pentium 75 megahertz from the early 90s, running Windows 95. Whew. One down, a few more to go. Still waiting on a processor fan for that one, a logic board fan for that one, and this gateway under here I haven't even started on yet. So subscribe if you want to see more. Bye.